Fox News alert moments after the second assassination attempt on his life yesterday afternoon. Former President Donald Trump sharing his main concerns with Sean Hannity of Fox News as he was rushed back to the clubhouse at his golf course.
And Sean Hannity joins us now. Sean.
Why are you so charitable to motherfuckers who think like this? It's idiotic. Because there are more people that think like that than think like you. And my job, my primary responsibility is to get guys that think like that to think like me. And yelling at them all the fucking time, which I do when shit gets out of hand, right? When someone is like being an annoying little asshole, then yeah, I'll match that energy back. But my job is to try and educate people.
It happened at 1:30 yesterday afternoon, and you got a call before it even broke, before we all knew about it. Tell us that story.
It wasn't really, actually, guys, it was not long right after the incident happened. The president was playing with a dear friend of mine, Steve Woodcoff, and I had gone to breakfast with Steve and another guy, another friend of ours, and we had breakfast together. The whole breakfast, Steve was giving me a hard time. Come play golf with us, come play golf with us. And Steve is near a scratch.
Bro, he's trying to, oh my God, he's trying to put himself in the story so bad, bro. Shut up, Sean. You were not fucking invited, bitch. You were not invited, Sean. Okay? I was almost there at the almost attempted assassination attempt. It's like, wow, sick, man. Cool. Like, it's not like Trump almost died, bitch. He didn't even get fucking shot at. What are you talking about?
Golfer, the president pretty much is a scratch golfer, and I'm like, I don't have time to play, so I'm not that good with you, good at golf right now. But I hope to get back to it. I used to play, and anyway, so he goes off and plays. My phone rings. Maybe before 2, right after the incident happened, when he was immediately back in the clubhouse, and he told me what had happened, and he said that 4 shots had gone off. They heard it. It was pop, 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 pop. That's how he described it. And he was absolutely, positively blown away by how quickly the Secret Service got on the president, got him off the golf course, how quickly tripods were set up by sharpshooters within the Secret Service, and how professional they were. He will tell his entire story tonight on Hannity. Great. There are a couple of things. I was listening to Brian's interview with the sheriff. The law enforcement in Florida is so much better than it is in New York. They don't buy into this woke, defund, dismantle, no bail law idiocy and insanity. They take law and order very seriously down here, and I praise the sheriff and I praise everybody in the Secret Service. But there is something we have to examine very closely.
Yeah, he was crying yesterday, but only crying because he wasn't there to dive in front of a potential bullet. That's it.
Closely here. After a conversation I had with Governor DeSantis last night, it really struck me. I said, Governor, you've played that golf course. Tell me a little bit more about it. And he was describing how there are 2 holes, a par 3 and a par 4. The par 4 is a drive.
And I told him, Mr. President, I'm nothing but a hole for you.
Drivable par 4. And what he described to me, it was the area closest to where this fence is that we keep hearing about, that is surrounded in this treed area. And what is really disconcerting to me, if you go back to Butler, remember, we were told by the Secret Service, the people who are making the decisions what the perimeter around the president ought to be. Not the guys that are willing to dive on the president, put their life in harm's way and die to protect him, but the people that are responsible for making sure that perimeter is closed. There are some real serious questions, more than we had yesterday this morning, because they got within 130 yards in Butler, and they claimed it was a slope roof that turned out not to be a slope roof at all, and that's very troublesome that we weren't told the truth then, and we still haven't gotten to the bottom of it. We know that Connecticut Senator Blumenthal said Americans will be shocked, they will be appalled when they learn about the failures in Butler. But now we have a situation where we have we have a street about 300 yards from where the president was. And what's very
another very funny aspect of this is that he can't keep shitting on Secret Service because Trump keeps loving Secret Service. He's like, the Secret Service is the best. I love those guys. They save my life all the time. They're incredible. They just can't put a coherent, consistent narrative on this. They can't spin it because it's not like a migrant. That's it. They're so one note. What are they going to do? Fucking complain about Democrats and their rhetoric? You can't do that. 0 people believe you. You can't. You are the party of violent rhetoric. You do it all the time. Trump is complaining about violent rhetoric while also immediately packaging that complaint with more violent rhetoric. So it doesn't fucking work, you know? It rings hollow.
Concerning to me is, how is it possible that nobody was watching that street? And the way Governor DeSantis described this to me was, if you ever see a picture of Donald Trump playing golf, it's a photographer in that street area by the fence that we keep hearing about, that's the area where they're going to get the picture.
Right.
They're not going to get it anywhere else on the golf course. Well, that would also be the area that if you are a shooter, that you have the closest proximity to now a top presidential candidate, former president. And that kind of bothered me during the press conference yesterday when they said, well, there would have been more protection if he was the president. There was a recent assassination attempt just 60 some odd days ago. He's a top presidential contender. We're 51 days away from a presidential election. And you're allowing somebody with an AK-47 that has a scope on it to be literally within 300 yards.
I don't get what their solution to this is. Like, I get the Butler, Pennsylvania fuck up, but like in this one, he's doing a secret event that is obviously not so secret because he probably plays golf there all the time. But like it's a fucking... Go back to TikTok Boomer next to related videos on top. Click comments. No, I did that already. It didn't work. Stop. Like, are they taking... I like that they are basically saying what every American is aware of in their hearts, which is like there should be a gun-free zone only around Donald Trump. Like, no one should be allowed to have a gun just around Donald Trump, though. Everywhere else, you can be gunned up, okay? But if Donald Trump wants to go somewhere, then gun control, please. For a 1 mile radius, we must have gun control for a 1 mile radius. Actually, we also need to do people control. We need to do gun control. And on top of that, we need to make sure, like, if you are, I don't know, on your way to work, we're going to stop you and we're going to be like, how do you feel about the former president? If you say, I don't know, then sorry, you are not allowed to go to work today. You have to redirect. Okay? You have to redirect your trip away from here because you are not super pro-Trump.
Yards, which would be the equivalent, if you want a golf analogy, of a 1 foot putt or a tap-in putt. So there is a major failure here if they're not covering that street and making
sure.
There
isn't. Ask Trump. He doesn't think there's a major failure. You tried to do this narrative last time, and he was like, nah, dude, they fucking saved my ass. It was sick. I loved it. Like, that's it.
Sure, nobody gets in the bushes, right, let alone with an AK-47 and 2 backpacks and a GoPro and everything else we know that this guy had. It's scary. I will tell you this. I think as close as Butler was, this is so eerie. This guy got very close to killing the president. If it weren't for one Secret Service agent, you know, spotting the rifle and taking the shot, this guy gets a shot off. This is a very different story
quickly
today.
Tell us the story. I heard you share it on radio about the town hall, how your last town hall with Donald Trump was different.
Well, you know, I thought at some point somebody might remember I said that story. I was probably not going to talk about it again. If LJ was here today, I was going to say to LJ, I've been doing town halls since before you were born. We all love LJ. And I've done all these town halls all around the country. I've done many with President Trump in particular. I've had events with George W. Bush, other presidents, and other presidential candidates. I think I interviewed all 17 Republican candidates back when they were running in 2015 and 16. And so I've had all these town halls. When I did the recent one in Harrisburg, I'd never faced a situation like I did here, where the Secret Service was adamant nobody in the audience could be on the floor surrounding the stage. That had never been the case in any previous town hall. Then we were told, yeah, we're not going to allow you to fill up the entire building. And there was a little back and forth with the campaign, and we were asking why, because that had never happened before. And then one other very strange thing happened that I had never experienced, which was the Secret Service, whoever was in charge of the detail that day, very nicely, great guy. I love these guys. I admire these guys. They're willing to risk their lives for people. He asked for a few minutes of my time to pull me aside, pull me to an area where we were both looking at the stage that I was going to be on, doing the town hall, where I would be sitting, where President Trump would be sitting, and then pointed out on the stage, I don't want to go into too many details, pointed out in the area 2 separate locations I could go if shots were fired at that event. Yeah. In all the town halls I had done over all these many years, that had never happened before, nor had we had audience limitations like we had there. Wow. So that was pretty odd, which tells me, if I was going to make a conclusion, there are actionable threats that probably, right. This is what Director Wray is talking about every time he goes before Congress.
Indeed.
Does this guy know what kids go through every day at school? Not his kids. His kids are going to private school. Shouts out to that one chatter. He doesn't have to worry about that. What is this? Pakistani man charged in alleged plot to kill Trump and other politicians. Oh, that's awesome. All right, I'm skipping that. Let's get to some good shit. The 5.
Just moments ago, the FBI, Secret Service, and other officials giving...
Yeah, Secret Service successfully protects Trump. Maybe even go above and beyond in terms of, like, shooting at a dude immediately and missing, okay? And all the Republicans can say is, like, they should do it more. Like, what do you want them to do? Just shoot at random people? They should just start shooting at random white people in Trump's vicinity that are registered Republicans, because so far it's 2 for 2. Is that the suggestion that you guys have? If someone is a registered Republican and is a, white guy from any range, any age range, then immediately the Secret Service starts, they have to start blasting. Shoot first, ask questions later.
A major update on the second assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life. Watch this here.
The subject, who did not have line of sight to the former president, fled the scene. He did not fire or get off any shots at our agent.
What we did yesterday proves that the system can work, because the suspect didn't even get close to getting a round off, and we apprehended him and brought him to justice.
It comes as we get chilling new details on the would-be assassin, including what he was doing right before getting caught. New records show that 58-year-old Ryan Ruth was lying in wait, spending nearly 12 hours hiding in a sniper's nest near Trump's golf course before being confronted. A Secret Service agent opening fire after spotting a rifle poking through a chain-link fence while the former president was golfing, causing the suspect to flee in a car until cops caught up with him.
Driver! Walk straight back! Keep walking! Keep that long.
The Secret Service director also addressing concerns that his agency needs more resources. Watch here.
We also have a necessary...
Yeah, dude, cops will take any and every opportunity. Cops will take any and every opportunity to beg for more resources. It's like, dude, what more do you want? Cops will not stop. It's like cops in Israel. Israel also very cop-like anyway, and also directly does train our cops. It's just like, you have to give us every fucking dime, okay? You have to give us every dime out of your paycheck directly. We need nukes. We need tactical nukes, okay? We simply do not have enough. We simply do not have enough. We need more. We always need more. There's always money that you can give us. You need to give us more money right now. If they're unsuccessful, they say, you need to give us more money. That's why we were unsuccessful. If they are successful, in this situation, they're like, you need to give us more money. We are successful, so we need it. We want it. We deserve it. Look at how good of a job we did. That's crazy. 30K viewers. Bet Hasan is wishing for more attempts. Dog, I had 30,000 viewers before Donald Trump got fucking sniped at. Well, he didn't even get sniped. Let's be real. The fuck do you mean? Like, in terms of doing political coverage, like, Donald Trump being shot at is such a normal occurrence now that it doesn't actually meet the fucking... It doesn't actually give me a noticeable bump. Like, people just kind of expect it at this point. It's turned into literally the same as like a school shooting.
Need to make sure that we're getting the personnel that we have. And that requires us to be able to have the funding to be able to hire more people. You can't just give me money and say, hey, we're going to make sure that everybody gets overtime. Because the men and women of the Secret Service right now, we are redlining them. And they are rising to this.
It's like a car chase? No, because when I react in real time to a car chase, I get a fucking noticeable 10K bump. Okay? But school shootings and Trump getting shot at are so normal now that people don't even care. They're like, whatever, it's another, I guess it's another Monday, you know?
Moment, and they are meeting the challenges right now.
All right, Judge, take us through your thoughts.
Why do you watch Fox News? So I know what real Americans are thinking. I went down a fuck Hasan pipeline on YouTube last night and really haven't watched you for over a year. It's insane how much people just make up shit and clip you out of context. Yeah, because there are people like you who go down that pipeline and give them views. That's why. But anyway, no, I watch Fox News because I'm a Fox News watcher.
Well, this is the second assassination attempt in 2 months, and you're only lucky so many times. Now, the secret...
Judge Jeanine Pirro might as well be a fucking Florida sheriff. The way she's always slurring her goddamn words, okay?
Bakar al-Baghdadi, and but what we saw in Butler was a fiasco of finger pointing by the Secret Service, as well as incompetence and reluctance by the Secret Service. Although I would point out that we still haven't gotten the final report on this. But on yesterday, thank God that there was one Secret Service agent who was able to see the barrel of that rifle coming through a gated fence and was able to shoot. And God bless him for the fact that he had the ability to see and stop that. But I also want to be clear that I don't know that the attempted assassin, would have been caught, but for a civilian who took a photo of the car and got the plate number. So the first question I have is there really communication, or is there communication at all, between the local police and the Secret Service? Now, there also is, why there's still question as to whether or not Donald Trump is getting presidential level protection. There were no drones, okay? There were no dogs. And, you know, he's talking about either they need more people or they need more money. And the Secret Service said yesterday that Secret Service is, quote, limited to areas that the Secret Service deems possible. So why doesn't the group that is so into reimagining the police and reimagining everything, deeming that it's possible for someone to be able to see through that hole where people all the time, including the press, take photos of President Trump playing on the golf course? Everybody knows that that's an area that is capable. It's a major thoroughfare. And at the same time, you know, don't tell me that you don't have the ability to secure outside of that fence. And they say that they can't close that particular spot. I'm not so sure that they couldn't have done that. Now, Biden says Secret Service needs more help. Congress should give them more help. I have an idea. Biden could simply assign more help. He can redirect funds. We had $7.5 billion toward electric vehicle chargers. I think 8 of them are working. We have billions of dollars.
Yeah. No, I think they're wrong. They're wrong. And I'm unafraid to say it. They're wrong. Brave take, I know. I think that they should take all of those funds that they would allocate to the president so he can play golf again and give it to Israel. Okay? I think that Judge Jeanine Pirro does not have her priorities set. We should be giving it to Israel. That's really fucked up.
Every year that are going towards illegal. We don't even know how many are coming, but we got the money for them. And so don't tell me you can't redirect funds. And finally, what is the mission of the Secret Service? The mission of the Secret Service is supposed to be the protection of the president, his family, and dignitaries. I can tell you as a local DA for 32 years that the Secret Service is always competing on economic crimes with local DAs, with local attorney generals. Why is the Secret Service involved in 2009? They created an electronic crime task force in Rome, Italy, no less, where it was a public-private partnership to go after high-tech computer-based crime. Why are they doing everything that local DAs and attorney generals are doing, as well as every other 3-letter agency is doing? And finally, get out of our business. Don't tell me you don't have the money and you don't have the time. Hire merit, based upon merit and not DEI. And the final thing I'm going to say is if you don't have the right people, go to the military. You've got military.
Dude, you're like a brown woman. What do you mean DEI? Like, do you see yourself? What? I don't even know what Judge Jeanine Pirro is, but like, I don't think she's white, is she? It's always Lebanese, by the way. If there's like one, whenever you see someone, let me tell you, whenever you see someone, I don't know if she is, I don't know if she's just full-blooded Italian, but like, whenever you see a woman like this, almost always they're Lebanese. They're Christian Lebanese. What ethnicity is Judge Jeanine Pirro? Ah! Yes! Yes! Fucking called it, dude. Yo, I'm telling you, dog. I'm telling you. Okay. There's a lot of secret Lebanese people out there, okay? God damn, I clocked it. Yeah, specifically Christian. Or Persian? Nah, Persians can't fucking hide like this, okay? Persians don't read. No, you're wrong. Persians wish they could read white like this, okay? Some Persians, not all. At least the ones that are in my near vicinity. Listen, I didn't just, your next level white races, I didn't just tell you that she was Lebanese. I told you exactly what kind, okay? This is a very specific thing that you see, all right?
Military men who would jump at the chance of this, have the clearance that's needed to do this, then have the mental and physical ability to do it.
Yep. And Harold, I think that Secret Service, they started in 1865 under Treasury Department. So financial crimes were a part of their remit at the time. But at this point, you have two things happening. One, the golfing expedition was off the record, not on the schedule. But apparently, Ruth was in the tree for 12 hours.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. First, I hope everyone had a good weekend, as good as you could have, and glad to be back around. I agree with some things the judges said, and I disagree with some things. I agree wholeheartedly, based on what the sheriff said, and the sheriff of the county said that President Trump phoned him and thanked him and all of the law enforcement for their efforts. And I understand that President Trump, at least according to the reports, has told the Secret Service, "Thank you for your efforts." I won't tread over things that the judge has already said, but there are a couple questions that I still have, and I hope we'll get them. I thought the press conference was constructive. They told us what they knew and what they don't know. Hopefully they'll come back and tell us when they do know these things. And one of 2, 3, 4, 5 things I want to know is, when did the guy get to Palm Beach?
This guy sucks. Like, he sits on the lib seat, but he cannot hold a candle to my go Jessica Tarkov. God, I'm such a fucking Fox News dad. Like, I'm unironically 100% a fucking Fox News dad. I have my favorites, dude. I just like that's when you know we've gone beyond the point of no return, okay? Like, I have my favorite Fox News hosts, and I get upset when they're not on. Oh God. Where's Jessica? Did they fire her for being too woke? I think they fired her for being pregnant. And by that I mean I think she might be, wasn't she like pregnant or some shit? I think she's like might be giving birth. They didn't fire her, by the way. I'm just saying. She might be on maternity leave. Or maybe she's just like doing less appearances for that reason.
How long had he been there? Was he ever at Bedminster, or for that matter, any other?
Her ex-husband, Albert Pirot, spent 17 months in jail for tax evasion. And even though he was well past his jail years, he was still pardoned by Trump law.
Place that President Trump has been over the last 6 to 12 months. And I think if we get answers to these questions, we will get the answer to, I think, the question that is reverberating in my mind when we learned that the president was safe, and that I did learn in the press conference no shots were fired. The guy did not have a line of sight. Mm-hmm. But the real question is, was he working with an adversary, a foreign adversary? And we don't know the answer to that yet. People say that the guy is perhaps low level and not sophisticated enough. But normally those are the very people who sometimes may be either knowingly or unknowingly working with people they shouldn't be working with. Finally, this notion of resources, where I differ a little bit with Judge, and you certainly have a strong theory around this as well. I just think whatever resources
you want to know why this guy sucks? Because Jessica Tarkov actually presents like solid cases, and when she does, the content is better. This guy's also a man, so Jesse Waters isn't saying like gross ass shit about women enough. He will still say some gross ass shit about women. Obviously, it's Jesse Waters, but like he's not kind of directing it in his direction, right?
They may need, whether redirecting something from one thing to the other. If the Congress wants to come back, and I think that everyone would vote for an emergency supplemental to provide whatever the Secret Service may need in terms of more training, more people, whatever more munitions, whatever it may be. And one of the things we may know is if indeed if it's an off-the-record thing, which we learned this was, we know the president likes to go there. So maybe they should just sweep these things anyway. And if they need more resources for this kind of thing, that's what we should not only perhaps give them, that's what we should absolutely give them to make sure we don't have this problem again. But that's an issue
boring. Move on. Shut up. You're saying the same shit that all the fucking dummies are saying.
Jesse,
you're supposed to at least present yourself as a dummy-crat, dumbass. You're sitting on the dummy-crat chair. Fuck.
The FBI special agent in charge of the Miami field office said that the attempted assassin was the subject of a previously closed 2019 tip to the FBI that Ruth was in felony possession of a firearm, which means that he shouldn't have had it.
So he's all over the FBI's radar. He was all over the media's radar. And he was all over the State Department's radar. The State Department got a tip about him when he was in Ukraine. Dana, what's a poor roofer from North Carolina doing flying to Ukraine?
Yeah.
How's he flying to Ukraine, flying to Hawaii, flying to Palm Beach, flying to Washington, D.C.? Who the hell is this guy?
Yep.
You know, you've seen he's wearing like an expensive pea coat with some preppy tie, and he's got a Ralph Lauren shirt on. The next.
Okay, none of those. Wait, what? No. I don't think he was a big dick baller at all. I don't think he was like even remotely a big dick baller. I think he's absolutely a fucking crank. Like he is absolutely a crank, okay? He exhibits all of the crank tendencies, including but not limited to adding Zelensky, adding Dave Matthews Band, adding Bruno Mars on Twitter, and demanding that they collaborate with him. He sent out a tweet to Elon Musk being like, give me a spaceship, please. I need to fucking put nuclear warheads on it and dive headfirst into Moscow. He's just like a regular old perfect American crank. No, Hasan, this Fox host is about to go conspiracy mode. I know, and I really love him for it, but let's hear.
Next thing you know, he's wearing all camouflage and red, white, and blue. This man is nuts. I don't trust him, and I want to know everywhere where this guy's been. Because he's a Ukraine radical. He's been radicalized, either self-radicalized or some other foreign entity has a hold of him, or maybe
Zil Disney.
Something we don't even want to talk about. Because this guy, you don't have a convict like that running around out in the open like that, getting interviewed by the Times and just showing up at the right place at the right time.
Wait, you can't be talking shit about convicts, dog. Like you're literally advocating to vote for one on a daily basis, okay? Fuck you mean? This guy's a convict. His freedom of movement must be limited now.
We got lucky. They didn't even sweep the perimeter until he was already on the course.
Right.
They didn't pre-sweep it, and they're patting themselves on their back. They better be kidding me. And this isn't about money. Joe Biden just spent like $20 trillion. There's plenty of money. He wants money. They can have the money. They have as much money as we can print. When has it ever stopped us? We just print it. This is about priorities. The Biden and Harris administration has not been able to protect their rival. Either they're reckless.
Is he dead? Did he die? No. So I guess they are protecting their rival. You know what I mean? Why are they acting like Trump is dead, dude? He had to do a jab in there, throw a little jab in there about printing money too. It's so funny. They're printing money like it's no tomorrow. I think, controversial opinion time, I think they're protecting Trump too well. I think they should protect Trump less. Make things a little bit more interesting. That way you get to save taxpayer dollars, which we can give to Israel. Okay, that's my priority. I'm a normal American guy, okay? And as a median voter, well, one, I'm already a NATO voter, as you guys know. I'm an AUKUS voter. So I think he did nothing wrong, Ryan. He had all the good positions. He must be immediately freed. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm a NATO voter. I'm a NATO voter.
Or they don't care that much. But this guy, do you realize how extraordinary to have two attempted assassinations on one guy with huge security lapses in the span of, what, a couple weeks?
67
That's
days.
insane, Dana. Joe Biden came out and was listless. If I was president and this would happen on my watch, I'd fire someone. I'd fire someone. If this had happened to Obama.
Wait. Dude, they succeeded. Like, the dude didn't even fire off a shot. What are they complaining about? Do you need time off or something? What? Why? Because I said that we need to spend all of our dollars on Israel. You can't, in good conscience, think I'm being serious, right?
Think about it. There was no attempted assassinations on Barack Obama's life like this. And if there was, Fox News would probably be out of business. Rush Limbaugh would probably be yanked off the air because they said something critical.
Wait, what? Dude, Bill O'Reilly is responsible for the direct assassination of a fucking doctor who he named by name every night. He called him Tiller Tiller, the baby killer. Okay? Like, what are you talking about? It did nothing to Fox News. Also, Rush is already burning in hell, so I don't know why he's talking about Rush Limbaugh. Yeah. Bill O'Reilly waged an unflagging harassment campaign against the abortion provider before Tiller was murdered in 2009. So he got his wishes. Nothing happened.
Think about the kind of things they're saying about this guy, and it's completely normalized. Joe Biden's at the beach. They can protect him. Kamala Harris is riding around on a bus that says Kamala Harris all over rural Georgia. No one's ever tried.
I think like most cranks forgot Joe Biden is even president. That's why he can just go to Rehoboth Beach and just hang out with his tits out, you know? Like, that's probably what it is. Because most cranks don't even know he's president right now, dog. Like...
tried anything. They're perfectly fine with protecting those people, but they can't protect one man. And the answer, why can't they protect that guy? And that's the question.
Well,
I think the Dems have to...
But they did, like, successfully. And it's so funny because Joe Brandon, being the pussy that he is, immediately was like, we got to give more money to the Secret Service, Jack. Like, not only did they successfully protect him, but they're probably going to get more funds.
realize there is a risk in amplifying the message that this guy has to be stopped at all costs. On the plus side, you get a lot of people believing that Trump is an existential risk. On the negative side, you get a lot of people believing that Trump is an existential risk. So that activates, it's a pretty genuine way to brainwash somebody. It activates those on the margins of society to fulfill your implicit directive. You see, when you brand somebody Hitler, that has a long-standing effect. You know, you see the media trying to tie this to the rhetoric about Springfield. Well, A, this guy isn't from Haiti, and B, that is not how brainwashing works. Brainwashing is created through a sustained repetition of messages for a long period of time. It wouldn't happen in a few days after some kind of outburst, you know, after a story appears. It happens after months or years of specific ominous rhetoric targeting the object for elimination. In this case, you could say it's cause and effect. It's been 4 or 5 years of this. It's interesting to me.
It's really fucked up. I can't believe they're correctly calling Trump Hitler.
It's the same people who push the concept of hate speech in its most absurd form, you know, using the wrong pronoun as hate speech, employ it in its purest shape for years. And then you got to wonder, why are pundits blaming Trump's rhetoric for this assassination attempt? I can only think it's to improve Democrats' polling with abusive husbands, because it's no different. It's not Trump's rhetoric. It's how the media twists the rhetoric into a different meaning. Bloodbath. He's talking about the auto industry, their profits. Do most people know that? Probably not. drinking bleach, the fine people hoax. It was never Trump's rhetoric. It was the hoaxing of it that created this kind of umbrella notion that Trump is an existential racist, and that encouraged violence. That is the brainwashing. You know, I watch a lot of Dateline, so I understand motive and opportunity. And in both suspects, you have
He watches a lot of Dateline to see if if one of his cold cases ever comes up. He's like, yeah, I wonder who did that murder.
motive and opportunity. You have white male misfits who are very similar. They're perfect to be triggered. In this case, you have somebody who was seeking the.
Why is this coverage so stupid, HasanAbi? This is ridiculous. Dog, it's Fox News' premier daytime broadcast. Of course it's stupid. I just like watching it to see like what the Republican message is going to look like. Okay? And honestly, their narrative is so bad. I can't believe the fucking Republican candidate got shot twice, the former president. Or not shot, but like had 2 unsuccessful assassination attempts, and they just can't even fucking message around it. Like, they did this the first time. It fucking fell flat, and they are just trying it again. I feel like the old Republican Party would have figured out a better way to communicate it. I can't even think about anything that would like be somewhat successful here. I don't even know how you would be able to successfully message around this. I don't know. Maybe the conservatives are a little right. Did some Democrat supporters go too far? Oh my God. Shut the fuck up, Neek Skit.
Infamy of some Ukrainian fantasy, hanging out with Malcolm Nance. You know, these are the perfect.
Like, they should have just, they should just be like, this is deep state. Like, the deep state's coming after him. You know? I don't know why they're doing anything else. Like, they should just be like, it's the deep state. The deep state's coming after our big, beautiful boy.
Perfect candidates for triggering. Timing is similar before an election. Target is the same. Who benefits with Trump out of the picture? Well, you know what? Ukrainians do. The Ukrainian army does. I don't know. The suspect was deemed as politically ambiguous. How are you politically ambiguous when you try to kill Trump? That was the same strategy of.
Wait, but the last one literally also was. Oh, yeah, this is also, I mean, I made this joke last time as well. I made this joke after the last attempted assassination. I was like, yeah, a smart Democrat should come out and be like, yeah, we need to do a gun control law right now to make sure that Donald Trump doesn't get assassinated. It's smart. I'm not even joking about it. I think it's a smart thing to do.
Spin that was used on crooks. Well, he was looking at other places as well. That's as ambiguous as my good looks.
Which are not ambiguous.
Thank you very much.
Oh, ew.
So